Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Monday as we are breaching the 50-day moving average, which is a major puzzle piece to talk about today with our candle low at 45,100, just shy of the $44,800 support level. And I talked about us coming back down to this level for a second time since we already came and we tested this level once. Of course, we did get to break out of this flag, but now that we're back inside of this flag formation and we have this $44,800 level holding at this point, we have to talk about what the potential downside scenarios could look like for Bitcoin. And of course, we'll also talk about what it would look like if the bulls are going to be able to rescue Bitcoin's price and not breach 44,800. But realize this, since we've already seen so many wicks below the $44,800 level down towards 41,950, the volume in this range has been exhausted. And what that means is if we come for this next test of the level and it does not hold, the likelihood of this level breaking down even further towards the $36,500 level becomes more likely. And so this is an extremely important time for Bitcoin. I'm here in Greece. I'm going to be here for the next week or so, making videos as always. So let's just dive into this Bitcoin analysis because this is an extremely important time. And we'll also look at altcoins as we always do. So if we go into the 3-hour chart, we want to start looking at these micro time frames because everything morphs from these smaller time frames into the larger time frames. And what you'll notice is we have this bearish continuation candle, and now we're coming down towards 44,800 to test the level. And if we start to see volume come in at 44,800, the first area of support is going to be 42,500, and that's going to be channel support from the range that was created when Bitcoin initially dropped from 49,700 and consolidated for a bit around the $44,800 level. If we come down and we test this support level, in my opinion, just being the umpire, because we already have all this price action here, the likelihood of volume coming in at these levels is quite low. And so my concern now is if we break 44,800, this channel support's not going to hold, and we're going to see 36,500 come onto the table to test the previous channel resistance, which has acted as a support once already. Since we came down to 30,000, we came back above this channel. And now you can see if we were to come back down, it would test the resistance as a support, which is garden variety market behavior. So the $44,800 level is extremely critical right now. And if the bulls are able to get price action at this point above the monthly and weekly open, which is right at $47,000, that would be the only time I would start assuming that there could be an upside scenario towards 49,700 at this point, because of the fact that the monthly open is a major level. And the fact that we're below it right now, it's a good thing when it comes to understanding where we're going to monitor to get confirmation of direction, because being slightly below the monthly open, knowing now it's a resistance, if we can get above it, 47,000, that's the only way we can assume some upside at this point. But up until then, the chart just doesn't look bullish. And so I have to be the umpire for you guys. And you have to realize that the fact that we broke back down below this channel resistance, which was supposed to act as support, is a sign of weakness. And so that is clearly on the table. And I talked about us seeing low volume throughout this whole consolidation so far, and the path of least resistance always being sideways to a little bit higher when there's low volume. So don't be surprised if we might not even just get much of a downside scenario in the short term, where the timing is always the hardest part to predict. But if we were to even come down just to $43,000 to $42,000, that would still be considered garden variety market behavior. But the question is, in the past, where altcoins would perform when Bitcoin was consolidating, is that trend going to continue while Bitcoin dominance has yet to form any further lows since the May top? That's something that we're starting to actually get a clear picture of if we were to just pull up Ethereum. This is the biggest altcoin. It's going to lead every other altcoin. Notice how we have this head and shoulder pattern, and we are failing to get back above 3454. And I told you guys that was the major level. This area where we have 3,000 to 3,500 volume is going to be exhausted. That's why we've already come back down towards 3,200. Ethereum performing weaker than Bitcoin, with the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart still breaking down back towards 65,000 Satoshis. Does that give us a hint that altcoins are going to be seeing a bleed out that is far more severe than Bitcoin with any sort of Bitcoin price action to the downside? I think that that could be the case. And that wouldn't be a surprise to those that have been tuned into the Snipers channel based on what we've been watching with Bitcoin dominance since we've yet to form any further lows. We have a double bottom here, and this chart is extremely correlated to the DXY, which has already double bottomed and got above its 20-week moving average. All Bitcoin has to do to follow the path is to now get above its 20-week moving average. And as we've been saying, I would only expect Bitcoin dominance to rise up above the 20-week moving average if we're seeing downside in the overall total market cap, just like we saw in 2018 when Bitcoin dominance started to rise back from the 30 to 40% range to the 70 to 80% range. So if we were to pull the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, we do have this potential double top, a lower high. The fact that we couldn't form further highs, and we already saw Bitcoin drop 19% from 49,700 down to that $41,000 level, tells me that there's weakness with this move to the upside. If we couldn't get above the previous highs from May, then we have to put that on the table as a major macro puzzle piece, not a micro puzzle piece. So, sorry, I'm jet lagged, so I'm stumbling over my words, but I promise you by tomorrow I'll be back on track. So, you know, everything is looking like what we've been expecting in this market. We look at the altcoins outside of the Ethereum and Bitcoin dominance. Notice how we also have this double top formation. So that tells me that altcoins are going to be weaker. I'm sure there's going to be very isolated cases like in 2018 where Link did well, but altcoins are going to be weaker through any sort of downside Bitcoin could see if Bitcoin dominance is on the way up. So we're not going to go too much into traditional markets. They're not moving much right now, so we can give them a little bit of time to mature. Turnaround Tuesday's coming around tomorrow. So a lot to cover this week, but Bitcoin is at a critical spot. I'm really excited to see how 44,800 handles itself. If it breaks, that's a big concern to me. I think 36,500 comes on the table. It doesn't have to come right away, but I think it becomes a lot more likely because we could see some support at 42,000, but that's going to be quite the hike back up because then 44,800 becomes a resistance again, and now we have to keep climbing back up this ladder that we've already fell from. So it's going to be interesting to monitor this. Now there's mosquitoes coming, so I will be back on my normal pace. I'm obviously jet lagged right now, so I'm sure I didn't do the best to this video, but I'm always going to provide you guys an analysis on a daily basis, regardless of where I'm at or what I'm doing. And with that, thank you all for tuning into the Snipers channel today. Until next time, Snipers out.